Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez-Williams, and I am going to make a zucchini noodle spaghetti. And it is so super simple that you're going to want to try it because it's simple. If you like spaghetti, put spaghetti in the comments, and make sure to give me thumbs up, hearts, share this video so that more of the world can know that they can make something as simple as spaghetti but have their vegetable of zucchini in it and have it taste amazing. So I have 2 pounds of ground beef that I'm using I'm going to be using 4 zucchinis. And I am going to deviate a little bit from the specifics of a recipe a little bit here because, I don't know why. That's just because this is a recipe that I have never actually measured the quantities of, but I'm going to show you how I measure. So it's maybe a different way of measuring than usual, but I'll show you exactly what I do, and I'm telling you it'll be delicious and simple. And I want to know if you like zucchini as noodles. So when I use zucchini as noodles, I do it in one of 2 ways. I either make little triangles, or I use a spiralizer and make little zoodles, and I usually do them shorter so that they're a little bit easier to grab. This type of spiralizer you can get on Amazon for like $6 to $8, and it's just a handheld one, and it is super easy to use. It makes it fun to have these zucchini noodles, and you can have 2 different sizes, like the thicker ones, or let me find the thinner ones. Or there's like thinner ones, thicker or thinner. So I do both because it's more fun. I don't know, I feel like it's more fun. So I'm gonna start cooking this meat and putting the spices on it. The recipe part of this is the spices, but like you're going to see, I'm gonna show you how I measure. How I measure it this way. This is not normal for me to measure this way, but it's just how I've always made spaghetti, and it always turns out really good. And I don't measure it with a teaspoon or tablespoon or anything. All right, so I'm adding these spices, and I'm going to add it 3 different times. So we're going to start with our pink salt, and I literally go like this and go feather the whole entire frying pan with pink salt. Then I do the same thing with black pepper, which I'm looking for where I put it. Here it is. Black pepper. And I have to do it a little bit hard because it doesn't necessarily come out as fast as the pink salt. I don't think there's any way you can really mess this up. You might be thinking so, but I'm telling you, you can't really mess it up. And then I'm going to do the same thing with garlic powder. Like this. Garlic powder. And then I'm going to do the same thing with basil. Dried basil. And this one I have to tap too because it doesn't all come out as fast as I want it to come out. It's like bigger flakes. I just make sure it touches all of the meat. And then I do the same thing with oregano. And then I do the same thing with paprika, although I have it like this, so not gonna measure it, but I'm just gonna sprinkle it, but from this bag. So I'm just gonna sprinkle paprika. Now, if everyone in your family wants spicy, I would add cayenne to it just the same way, but I will just be adding cayenne to my portion, because at least my girls are not keen for the extra spiciness. So now what I'm going to do is mix it, and let it cook it. It's hot. And then we're going to repeat the process. I tell you, this is simple. This is the new way. This is not the new. I'm not switching to this. It's just the way I do spaghetti. And I've done it so many times this way that I've figured out the right quantities by doing it that way. All right, once I have it mixed in a little bit, all those spices, I'm going to do it again. So So if you're just hopping on, tell me where you are watching from. And if you like spaghetti, tell me spaghetti in the comments. And make sure you share this video. Thumbs up, hearts. All right, so we're gonna start again with the pink salt. This pink salt is fine pink salt. So I haven't figured out really how to use it well in terms of like the quantity compared to not so fine. This is black pepper. Now garlic powder. Now basil. We went to the end of the Oregon Trail Interpretive Center today. Learned a lot about the trek across the U.S. for a lot of people back in the 1840s or earlier. Actually, I don't know when the first persons left. I don't remember that. That's that part of the museum. Oh, I forgot to add the oregano. And the oregano and the paprika. Okay, I'm not done. Hold on. Gotta do the last set of these. Oregano. And then paprika. And again, I don't have, if I had it, I would do it the same way. But since I don't, I'm just gonna sprinkle paprika everywhere. Now I'm going to mix it again. And then there's one more step. Now for the last step for the meat, which is almost cooked, I'm trying to get it all crumbled up so that it's in all bites. For the last step, I am going to not repeat all of the spices, but almost all of them. So there's two of the spices are going to only be repeated twice. The rest of them are repeated 3 times. So now the last pass through is going to be pink salt. And then black pepper. It's hard to see this one coming out. And then garlic powder. We're making spaghetti, easy spaghetti with zoodles or zucchini noodles or zucchini macaroni. And then the very last one, we're skipping the basil and the oregano, and we're adding one more round of paprika. Now we're gonna mix it all. Hi Dawn, how are you? Welcome, welcome. If you like zucchini noodles, put zucchini in the comments. If you don't use zucchini noodles, you could do spaghetti squash noodles, and you would still get some veggies. You could also use like palm heart noodles, but those aren't gonna count for as much nutrient-wise, so I would have like a salad on the side. You could use konjac flour noodles. I don't think those are as great for spaghetti, but they would work. And you could use like cut egg life wraps in strips. Those would be other alternatives to the zucchini. All right, so spices wise, it is done. Now what I'm going to do is add my zucchini. So I have 4 zucchinis. I have 2 pounds of ground beef. I have 4 zucchinis, mostly cut into zoodles. And I'm going to put them in here. The trick is to not overcook the zoodles so that they're not so soggy. I cut the ends after I used the spiralizer. I cut the ends off into triangles. So I have several triangles too. It's kind of like a mixture of all the types of the zucchini cut up. And I want to kind of mix this in well with my meat, and then I'm going to add the sauce. So for the sauce, you can use my homemade pizza sauce and add a little bit of water to the consistency of your preference. Or you can use a low-carb sauce like Rouse. Or I'll show you the low-carb sauce I found at the Walmart here in Oregon. I like to look for a sauce that is like 6 grams of net grams of carbs. That doesn't have, that just has like, the ingredients are just the tomatoes and the spices and onions. That tends to keep it super low carb. And there definitely are brands that have that are not Rouse, if Rouse is more expensive where you are. You just have to read a little bit. Alright, read the ingredients. So you can see how it is without the sauce. And then I'm going to add the sauce. And I have a little combination of my pizza sauce that's left over as well as this one, which is this brand Organicville. I think it's from Walmart. And it is 6 grams of net carbs and 0 added sugar. And the ingredients are just tomatoes, tomato paste, onion, and olive oil, onion, all the spices. So I'm going to get this all in here, and once the sauce is hot, it's done. Like, I'm not going to overcook the zucchini because we don't want it to be soggy. Mostly have it out. And then I need to add what I have, my pizza sauce that I made. So we only had half of that left over. I know if my husband was here, that would be not enough because he likes his spaghetti to be like spaghetti soup. And for him, he needs always more sauce than what we have. And I always try to make sure, it's hard to, one thing I found to be a little challenging is to get the, like when you serve out a portion, to make sure that there's zoodles in every portion. Sometimes they all like clump together, so I try to be cognizant of where they are so that one person isn't having like all the zoodles because they're stuck together. That's why I like to spiralize them a little bit shorter too. Alright, so I have a little bit of my leftover pizza sauce. If you're making my pizza sauce, I'll put that recipe in the comments too. Then you're gonna put a little extra water. This one is a little bit, already has a little extra water, so I'm not going to, but my normal pizza sauce is like for pizza, so it's more thick. It's more like a paste than a pizza sauce. Than a spaghetti sauce. Alright, so I'm going to mix this through. And my pizza sauce has pretty much the same spices as the spaghetti sauce, the meat that I just put on the meat, all the spices that I used on the meat, it's about the same. So I think that it's actually probably pretty close to being ready. The bigger chunks, like if you are using a triangle of zucchini instead of the noodles, then you'll probably cook it a little bit longer because they are thicker and don't cook as fast. I'll show you. But you can see I have a good amount of sauce now. There's some liquid, it's warm, it's definitely warm enough, but you can see how these are a little bit not as cooked yet versus the zoodles are a little bit more cooked. So that is it. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. tell me if you go ahead and try. Oh, I lost the flame. Tell me if you try this and what you think, and try my method of adding spices. And have a wonderful night from my house, well, from Rachel's house to your kitchen, global flavors and healthy plates from around the world. Bye!